Hi guys, and welcome to my channel about living in Spain. Now today we're talking about how to make friends, and I chose to include this topic because a lot of people either move here alone or with their partner, and then they wonder, how do we make friends? How do we meet people we have something in common with? And now that I've lived here for 4 years, I have a couple of tips that I want to share with you. And towards the end of the video, I will also share my story of how it was like for me to move to Malaga, not knowing anybody. If you are considering moving to Spain and you're a little worried about how you can get a social circle, I would say that in general, there is no need to worry about this, as Malaga and the area in general is full of super cool people. So without further ado, here is how you find cool people to make friends with in Malaga and the Costa del Sol area. So the first point I want to mention is to join a language exchange group. Now, it doesn't really matter if you don't speak any Spanish or if you speak perfect Spanish already. These groups can be a great place to meet both foreigners and locals. There are many different types of events with language exchange that are organized in Malaga. Some of them happen at bars, other times at coffee places, and other times just out in nature. If you hop onto Facebook, you will find a bunch of Facebook groups that are called something with Language Exchange Malaga, for example, but also in the general sort of expat groups, you will be able to find posts about these language exchange projects. In my experience, when you just move to Malaga, that is a great way to both see new places in the city and also talk to people. And now for another cool way to meet people in Malaga, and that is to join a co-working space. Now for me, that has been kind of a game changer because I found this super cool co-working space called the Living Room, TLR, located in Soho in Malaga. Not only does this place have great facilities for you to sit and work, they also have a super cool community and a lot of events. People there in general are super friendly, and if you have any kind of problem, there are typically a lot of people there that have had the same problem or similar problem in the past, and everybody is always ready to help you. To mention a few things you can do there, there are weekly volleyball games during the summer months, there are occasional ski trips, there are monthly speaking events and parties, and in general there are many different groups depending on what kind of activity you like to do. So also in general, if you want to try new things, that's a great place to start. So maybe you're wondering, well, I already have a job, or I don't really see why I would join a co-working space. Well, actually, the co-working space I'm at, the Living Room, they actually have a social plan where you basically just sort of get access to their events and using the space also a little bit. And that's actually a great way to meet people, even if you have a job and don't really need a co-working space. And now for another thing you can do if you want to meet new people, and that is to use the website or app called meetup.com. The idea behind Meetup is that there are a bunch of events posted, everything ranging from yoga to hikes to entrepreneurial groups, you name it, and you can basically meet up with people and have a good time. And the cool thing here is that if you sign up for, let's say, a yoga class, typically the people there also like yoga, right? So it's a good way to meet people that you have something in common with that like doing the same things as you do. The cool thing about this app is that there are many events almost all the time. So if you've just moved to Malaga, or if you're thinking about moving to Malaga and you're afraid of being maybe a little lost or lonely in the beginning, don't worry, there are plenty of things you can go out and do to meet people and have a good time. Another thing you can do is to simply find your favorite cafe. I personally really like to sit at some cafes in Malaga and just work a bit or read a book. Although I don't come there all the time, at one point you will start noticing that the same people go to the same places, so that's also a potential place that you can meet people that like the same things as you do, whether that's a cool matcha latte or sitting in a nice couch in the sun in the center of Malaga. It doesn't matter if you are a bit nervous about moving somewhere else on your your own, for example, don't worry about it. There are a lot of people that move here that don't know anybody, so a lot of people are in the same boat as you. Also across all age groups. I mean, yeah, sure, there are a lot of international students, but there are also a lot of people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and also seniors that move here that don't necessarily know that many people. And that's what's really nice about this place, is that it doesn't really matter who you are or how old you are or what you do. You will probably find people that you have something in common with, that you will like hanging out with. And now for my personal story about making friends in Malaga. So when I first moved to Spain, well, I basically moved here because of a job. I made another video about why I moved here. You should be able to see a link to that in the top right corner right now. The truth is that it was actually a bit difficult for me in the beginning because the most people that I ran into in the beginning were my coworkers. And although people were very nice, I did feel a little bit like I didn't have that much in common with them, maybe. So it was at a call center, and a lot of people there lived this sort of like fast lane life with a lot of parties, maybe some, and that isn't really my thing. So I did feel a little bit alone at first, and I did feel a little bit as if I was in the wrong place, you could say. But that changed after I met other people and realized that those are not the only types of people that live here. And if you're like that, don't worry, no judgment. It's just sometimes it's nice to be hanging out with people that you have something in common with. So if you move here, or if you already moved here and you find it a bit difficult to find people that you really sort of click with, don't worry. You probably just have to find people that are more similar to you. And for this, I made this list of ways that you can make friends in Malaga because I think they're all good for meeting people that you have something in common with, that you are more likely to get along with than just random people or maybe people you meet at work. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a bit of a short video today, but I do often see comments in different kinds of Facebook groups, for example, asking, hey, what is the social life like in Malaga? How do I make friends? And I understand this question, because if you're moving somewhere else, especially outside of your own country, that can be a bit scary and you can wonder, and it is natural to wonder if you will find people to hang out with. Don't worry, everyone else is wondering that too, so I'm sure you'll find plenty of people to hang out with. If you haven't already subscribed, that would help me very much. Thank you, and see you in the next one.